Under beautiful skies in the Valley of the Sun, spring training continues as the world champion Giants take on their Western Division rival, Los Angeles Dodgers. A full house is expected here at Scottsdale Stadium as fans and players get ready for Giants baseball. And we'll have it for you right here, and it's coming up next. We're coming to you, that's right, from the desert, Scottsdale Stadium, a very warm Sunday afternoon as we get ready for Giants exhibition baseball. And this afternoon, it is the Dodgers against the Giants. Hi again, everybody. I'm Dwayne Kuiper. Alongside me is Mike Krukow. Well, as spring training starts to wind down, now we're getting a glimpse at a guy that had surgery last year, and that's Matt Cain. Matt Cain on the Hill today. Should be fun.
Well, it should be fun. It should be very interesting. I mean, if you look at the Cactus League stats, to say that he's making his third start, but the Giants have kept him under wraps. The last two outings he's had have been at the minor league level, but today they're breaking him out for his fifth outing, and he hopes to run through the Dodgers and give himself a nice tune-up before they start to head north.
And it'll be our first look at Matt Cain, so it'll be fun for us as well. All right, stay with us. When we come back, we will have the starting lineups on the very first pitch right after this. Back here at Scottsdale Stadium, the umpires are out. The lineup cards are being exchanged as we've got Giants and Dodgers exhibition baseball here on a very, very nice Sunday afternoon. Glad you joined us. See some puffy clouds, but for the most part, lots of blue skies and sunshine. The Giants are 8-19. The Dodgers are 14-7. The only interesting note about the records, the Dodgers have had 6 ties. There's no ties in baseball.
No ties, no crying.
The 2014 World Series trophy is here at the ballpark today. And lots and lots of families taking pictures.
Now, the attitude around the trophy is just as what you can imagine. It's exciting. It's fun. And everybody wants to stop and get their picture taken with it.
All right, let's take a look at the Dodgers lineup. It'll go like this. The local kid that will play center field for the Dodgers this year, Jock Peterson, will lead it off, followed by Justin Turner, then Yasiel Puig. Yasmani Grandal is going to be the cleanup hitter. Then it's Ethier, Guerrero, and Hernandez. Darwin Barney will hit 8th, and pitching and batting 9th is Carlos Frias.
On the hill today for the Giants will be Matt Cain. That's right, 30 years old in his 10th year at the big league level. He's making his 3rd start. Well, that's on the stat sheet. Actually, this will be his 5th appearance. The last 2 outings have been at the minor league level, and he's got as many as 6 innings in those outings. So look for him to go 80 pitches or more today. Really stretch it out. For Cain, you'll see a fastball that is low 90s again, curveball, slider, changeup. And with Cain, always look as to what type of command he has with his pitches. Take a look at the defense playing behind Matt Cain today for the Giants. Starting in the outfield from left to right, it'll be Ishikawa, Pagan, and Aoki. That's your outfield. Crawford and Duffy on the left side of the infield. Panic and Belt on the right side. And Buster Posey, well, he'll be in the squad, putting down the signs.
So here's Peterson to lead things off. Peterson, Turner, and Puig. This is a split squad day for the Dodgers. So a lot of their other regulars are playing in another ball game. But look at the numbers for Peterson. He's had a terrific spring.
Well, you know, he kind of had to once they got rid of Matt Kemp and he was traded off to the Padres, and they basically said, Peterson, you're the guy.
Belt in and out of his glove. Peterson aboard. So we get started at 107.
I'm saying that's a base hit. And indeed, it has been ruled a base hit. Would have been a nice play. What we have found out about Peterson is he likes that first pitch, jumping on the first fastball. And Belt, I think, thought he had it in that big old first baseman's glove and could not find a handle. So a base hit just like that in one pitch. Matt Cain's in the stretch. But Peterson has responded to the pressure, guy. He's really having a nice spring.
Yep. And they tell us that he's really good in center field. So here's Justin Turner. First pitch is inside. It's Chris Cuccione who's calling balls and strikes.
The thing, too, about Peterson is that he can go. Gets down that line very quickly, and it will put pressure on the defense.
Peterson goes. Posey's got it. His throw. In time, they got him. So Peterson gunned down.
Well, it had to be perfect because Peterson had a pretty good jump. Very quick out of the stretch for Posey, who's right around 1.83 seconds in his unload time, and a perfect strike. And Peterson had nowhere to go, and indeed, an easy call for Jim Wolf, the second base umpire.
Hit into right center field. That's going to be a base hit, and it's going to be more than a single as Turner pulls into second base with a double. And that'll bring up Puig.
Batting third, right field, number 66, Yasiel Puig.
Very popular in this ballpark, Yasiel Puig.
Giants fans love him. Just kidding.
So he will step up against Cain. Puig this spring. 5 home runs, 12 runs batted in. And a big swing and a miss.
Fastball at 88 down around the knees outside corner, and looked like Puig was late. Very deliberate. He's going to have a hard time adjusting to the new rules because he needs to get in that batter's box. Looks like he's having a problem with the grip, but he wants another bat. But normally he is one of the slower guys getting in the batter's box.
So it's 0-1 to Puig with Turner at second base. Foul back. And it's 0-2.
Staying in that outside corner with the fastball. And I think you will see Matt Cain pitch guys a little differently than he normally will in the regular season. Normally Puig's a guy you like to jam, throwing it in on his hands with fastballs.
Cain with a look to second. Looked like a pretty good pitch to hit.
That was a hang of sliders, what that was. Head to count 0-2. You do not want to sniff the strike zone with a slider, especially up around the bell, especially to a guy who's got power middle away.
Yeah, we watched batting practice today, and the ball was really carrying.
87 degrees, first pitch. And that one misses low and away. Yeah, it's 1-2 strikes.
Much better location with that 0-2 slider.
It's got to be a sellout, right?
Now they're hanging from the rafters. It has been the case with every game this year.
Hit into right center field. Pagan on the move. And nobody's going to get it, and it's going to bounce over the wall for a ground rule double. What looked like a lazy fly ball ends up being a ground rule double.
Set the target in, and the ball goes away again, knee high. It's not a bad location pitch. And Puig, just with a good, strong set of hands, just sort of flips it out there and finds a gap and puts his team ahead 1-0.
Here's Grandal. Grandal this spring hitting under 200. And he skies this one into left field. There's Ishikawa. Will put it away. And that'll bring up Andre Ethier. It almost looks like the Dodgers have someplace to go.
Well, yeah, they're not taking a whole lot of pitches against Matt Cain. They're up there hacking.
A good spring for Ethier. And Ethier might be that odd guy out again this year in the outfield.
Yeah, he's not happy with that role. He wants to play every day, and I think he's also let the Dodgers know that. It would not surprise me to see him move between now and next week.
Inside corner. Yeah, you figure Puig, right? Peterson in center. Carl Crawford in left. Ethier on the bench. Good pitch. 0-2.
Yeah, it's not like they're going to platoon Yasiel Puig.
No, not at all.
And Peterson left-hander, Crawford left-hander. So for Ethier, he's going to be doing a lot of bench time.
So Ethier takes the high fastball. It's 1-2. On deck is Alex Guerrero. And a breaking ball, and that's lifted foul down the left field line. It remains 1-2. This is the last week here in Arizona. Giants will be home Thursday night to play the A's at AT&T Park. They'll be back here in a week. There's a pickoff play, and they almost got him.
Boy, Matt Cain thought he had him. And he's asking Jim Wolf about it. had this bit of play you see in the regular season, you may have seen a challenge on it. Very close. Had that ball been a little closer to the bag, I think they would have had him.
Out of play.
Giants trimmed down the roster today. They had a lot of guys get sent out. Let's take a look at this play one more time. Puig. That's close. But watch Crawford have to come across his body, then come back. Had the ball been a little more to the bag, I think they'd had him by a bunch.
I think it's pretty simple. Giants announcers think they got him. Dodgers announcers, he got back in there.
Yeah, I can't argue with you.
Got him. Nice pitch, and that'll end the inning. Dodgers on the board. Giants are coming up. They're coming up. Let's take a look at the Giants starting lineup, and it's brought to you by Mercedes-Benz. Aoki's going to lead it off, followed by Panik, Pagan, and Buster Posey. Bell hit fifth, and it's Ishikawa in the sixth slot. Brandon Crawford seventh. Matt Duffy gets a start this afternoon. He's hitting eighth, and Matt Cain will pitch in bat ninth.
On the hill today for the Dodgers will be the big right-hander, Carlos Frias. See what he's done in spring training. He's a strikeout guy. He throws hard. 6 strikeouts in 4 2/3. Frias, 25 years old. He got 56 days of big league service last year for the Dominican Republic. But the Dodgers love the velocity this guy can throw at you.
So here's Aoki, and he takes one in the dirt. Aoki hitting at 218. Swinging the bat much better now than he was at the beginning of spring. With Panik to follow. And there's a diving catch by Puig on a line drive to right.
Boy, an absolute bullet off the bat of Aoki, who the last couple weeks really has turned it up. I mean, he's swinging the bat well. Even his outs are hard. This one, they set up outside. It comes across the plate, middle in, and he just drops the head on it. And a nice play from Yasiel Puig to get the first out. You can't hit a ball any harder than that.
Here's Joe Panik. Panik takes down low. And Joe Panik's still trying to find his swing. He's hitting right around 150. He's got a couple of home runs. This one hit into left center field. Peterson's not going to get it. Panik's going to go. No, he's going to stop at second base with a double.
Right, if you look at the statistics of Joe Panik, I mean, he's hitting 154. He's got 8 hits and 52 at bats coming into this at bat. But he's only had
4 strikeouts. So he's been putting the ball in play. He just hasn't had much to show for it. The problem with spring training when you're a young hitter is they're asking you what's wrong. And really not a whole lot has been wrong. He's been hitting the ball back up the middle. He just hadn't had any hits. But that one right there, he's been looking for a little confidence, and that'll give him some. Good at bat.
So here's Pagan. Pagan at the plate with Posey to follow. And Pagan takes a strike at the knees. That's at 97, so you're right. He throws hard.
Yeah, he's got a good fastball. He'll throw 2 different kinds, 2-seam and 4-seam. And when we saw him last year for the first time, it was more 97s than 93s. He was bringing it.
And a base hit to right field. They're going to hold up Joe Panik.
Well, wise decision. Remember, Roberto Kelly, Giants are using him as a third base coach this year, and this has been a time for Roberto to kind of get his sea legs in the third base coaching box. Big shoes to fill when you try and fill him behind Tim Flannery. But an easy choice for Roberto Kelly because you're not going to take on one of the best assist guys in the league. Yasiel Puig's arm is just a cannon, and that was a very good throw. So veteran move there from Roberto Kelly. Hold him up.
So here's Buster Posey. Buster hitting .250 with a couple of runs batted in this spring. And a first pitch strike. Brandon Belt to follow. Runners at the corners with 1 out. Boy, that pitch looked pretty good.
Yeah, they're just pounding that inside corner. You can see Grandal, the catcher, setting up on that inside part of the plate. I see a lot of fastballs with Frias. They're going back in again. Now they set up a sway.
2 balls and a strike on the pitch outside. A Panik double and a Pagan single. So Frias takes a peek at Pagan and a swing and a miss. 2-2.
He threw that ball right by him. Now what's impressive about that is that's the 4th straight fastball that Posey's seen. And usually after he sees one, he's on you.
Little fist job into center field, and that's a base hit. Pagan read it all the way. He's at third, and Posey's single ties it up.
Just one fastball too many. They went inside one more time. Never even sniffed throwing him a breaking ball or a changeup. And that ball was right to the glove. Posey, who's been in a nice swing here the last week. And he's swinging good. When he gets jammed, they fall in.
So here's Belt. 3 straight hits for the Giants. Dodgers had 3 straight hits in the first inning. Way outside to Belt. Belt hitting at .337. He's got 3 home runs this spring. He's got 8 driven in. .327. And that pitch is down low. 2 balls and no strikes. Time for a little chat. What do you say?
Well, they're going to come out and just basically say you're throwing good fastballs. Don't fly that front shoulder and try and throw too hard. Trust it. The old trusted speech. But it's a good one. But when you have a young pitcher out there who throws hard, sometimes they try to overthrow it. And when that happens, that front shoulder flies, they lose command. And that's when you need to go out there and talk to him.
So Belt can lean on one here with a count of 2 balls and no strikes. And it's wide, 3-0.
Saw Chuck Krim come out and talk to Frias. This is a split Sunday for the Dodgers, and Rick Honeycutt, their normal pitching coach, stayed back at Glendale. Chuck Krim, normally the bullpen coach.
On the ground and a base hit. Pagano score. Posey to second. It's 2-1.
Well, he was in the driver's seat, sitting in a good count, good hitter's count, good fastball count from a guy that's throwing nothing but fastballs. They set up in the outside corner, and this comes right out over the middle of the plate, T-ball location, and Belt makes him pay. When we watched Frias warm up, he didn't throw anything with fastballs. Didn't throw a slider, didn't throw a curveball, didn't throw a changeup.
Here's Ishikawa. Ishikawa right at 200 with a home run, 6 driven in. Posey at second, Belt at first.
And there's the first breaking ball we've seen him throw.
Already 7 hits in this game. 3 for the Dodgers, 4 for the Giants.
What time's your flight?
We got time. They can hit around a couple of times. Ishikawa fouled on the left field line.
You mentioned a gorgeous day for baseball. It's 89 degrees here in Scottsdale. And I mean, just a trickling of wind. The flag's just moving a little bit. Bottom line, there's lots of carry. We're talking from foul line to foul line. You're going to see some home runs today. And that is a healthy fastball at 96. Right in the inside corner.
Yeah, that's why you'd like to get ahead of the count against a guy like this, so that you can cheat on that fastball. And Ishikawa is gone.
Right back inside. Staying with hard stuff. Just changed the grip of the fastball, and it basically is another pitch at that velocity.
So here's Crawford. Crawford, 5 RBIs on the spring, hitting .227. Posey at second, Belt at first. And that off-speed pitch is high. Matt Duffy is on deck as Crawford takes that fastball inside at 98. I think 98's too fast for spring training. There had to be an over and under. 94.
That was right on the inside corner. He could have got that pitch.
Hit on the ground. Darwin Barney. And that'll end the inning. Giants with 4 hits in the inning. They scored twice after 1. Giants 2, Dodgers 1.
On opening night, Tuesday, April 14th, we're going to honor Madison Bumgarner's historical 2014 postseason performance. First 40,000 fans will receive a bobblehead commemorating Mad Bum's NLCS and World Series MVPs, courtesy of AAA. If you want tickets, go to sfgiants.com/tickets. And Madison Bumgarner, he likes it.
So here's Guerrero. And Guerrero doesn't waste any time, and that's foul. A lot of first pitch swinging by the Los Angeles Dodgers.
I think that's kind of how Guerrero is. He's having a great spring, hitting .368. He's been so good that the Dodgers are feeling that, you know what, we may need to find a place for this guy. That's how good he's been. He's had 3 home runs and 8 RBIs. And it has been a hard .368.
Hernandez to follow, and then Darwin Barney. And it's bounced foul.
Basically,
and it's 0-2.
Anything close, hack. Guerrero signed out of Cuba, where with the national team, hit .308. Got good power.
And he saw that breaking ball early, and he hooked it foul.
Guerrero signed as a free agent, 2013, 27 years old.
And a breaking ball down low. So it's 1-2. Kike Hernandez is on deck. Outside. 2-2.
That's kind of what you've seen from Kane all through spring in regards to his velocity average, right around 91, which, you know, he doesn't max out with his delivery. He throws at a speed he can command. We'll see him 90-92 when he's throwing good.
Pagan comes racing in, and Pagan's going to make the basket catch.
Made it look easy.
Shortstop, number 14, Hernandez.
So here's Hernandez.
Pagan moving well. We've seen him a couple starts now. It doesn't look like his back stiffness that plagued him earlier in spring is a problem at all.
Oh, no, he's moving great. So Hernandez takes a curveball, and that's a strike.
Kane, he will mix up that first pitch.
Another breaking ball. Got him. Actually, 3 strikes in this league. It's 1-2.
Well, that's a good curveball. I think you throw a good curveball like this, it should count for 2 strikes. But you can't throw a better one than that.
Duffy.
And if you want to talk about a difference between Matt Cain this year and the previous 2 years when the bone chips were a problem, he didn't really have a good curveball. Yeah, last year during the season, he had bone chips taken out of his elbow. Now he's throwing that curveball again, and he's snapping it. So it's like he got an old friend back.
So here's Darwin Barney.
Hey, he took a pitch.
Low and away to Darwin Barney, hitting at .278 this spring with a home run. 4 runs driven in. Up the middle, off of Kane. To Panic, to Belt, just like they wrote it up. And that'll end the inning. A kick save for Matt Cain. Duffy to lead things off.
Witness history again as the Swinging Skirts LPGA Classic returns to Lake Merced. Come see the world's best golfers April 22nd. Go to swingingskirtslpgaclassic.com for tickets.
Back here in Scottsdale with the Giants leading 2-1. This is the bottom of the second inning. We have a guest, and that's Ron Wotus, who will join us for this half inning. Welcome aboard, Ron.
Good to be with you guys.
So that's it. We have no bench coach right now, correct?
Yeah, he's not needed at this time. I should have told Boch I was coming over here, though, in case he's looking for me.
So here's Duffy, and he takes the pitch down low. How many years now in the Giants organization?
In the organization, well, it was 18 at the major league level, 7 managing in the minor leagues, and I played my last 2 years in AAA with the Giants. So if you add that all up, it's a little bit over 20 years, if my math is correct.
Well, that's pretty awesome.
That is pretty awesome. Well, Bruce Bochy always commends you as to you're the guy running this camp in spring training. How long before you actually get down here do you start working on it?
You know, not too early. We have some meetings. Karen Sweeney sends me some information. MLB has a lot of meetings, the Player Association or some charity events. This year they added a couple more meetings with awareness of different things. So that starts in January. We start putting that on the schedule. But really about 2 weeks before, when I get the rosters from Bobby Evans on how many guys we're going to have in camp, that's when we really start putting the schedules together and moving forward.
So here's Matt Cain, who's going to bunt, and he takes a strike, and it's no balls and 1 strike. Now today we came out, you're doing cutoffs and relays and first and third situations. Now, was that predetermined a week ago, yesterday, this morning? How soon in advance do you come up with what you're going to do today?
Yeah, Kipe. Well, usually the first week or 2 weeks, there's certain fundamentals that we want to get in. That's pretty much planned out. And, give or take a day here and there, depending on what's going on. But at this point in the spring, we're really looking the way we're playing, and we're trying to fine-tune things we want to get better at or things that we feel we need to cover that's happening on the field. Items that we haven't got to as well as we'd like to maybe at this point in the spring. So it's pretty much day by day at this point. We'll see what happens today, and we'll plan tomorrow.
So Matt Cain still trying to get that bunt on with Duffy at first. Nobody out. We're with Ron Wotus, the Giants bench coach.
What are you happy with how they're playing now?
Well, you know what? We want to be in shape. We want to get everybody on the field healthy. You know, early. We're missing some of our guys, some of the pitching staff. It seems like everybody now, our starting pitchers are getting out there. They're getting the innings. They're getting a little deeper into the games, is which we need. There's always room for improvement. Look, we're always trying to play better. But we're at the point in the spring now that I think it's getting a little bit monotonous for everybody, the position players. We've been here a long time. It's been extremely hot. I think everybody's ready to break camp and get north and get some real games going.
Here's Aoki with Duffy at first with one out. Well, it's going to be good, I'm sure, for coaching staff, everybody, to get back to AT&T Park. If anything, the weather is going to be very nice. And then in a week, we're back here again.
Right. It'll be refreshing to go up there.
There's a base hit to left field for Aoki. And now to bring up Joe Panik.
All these games are necessary down here to get our work in, get the pitchers going. And, you want to leave spring training swinging the bat good, playing well. But most importantly, if guys are in shape and they're baseball ready, they're in condition to play 9 innings, that's the main focus. And you hope along with that guys are playing good ball going into the season. But you guys know, sometimes, you struggle in the spring. You go up north and the lights come on and your swing is right there. So that's not the way you want to go about it or coach it, but sometimes that's what happens.
Here's Joe Panik. By the way, you do know that Mike and I know what kryptonite is for you. And that's to say something bad about one of your infielders.
Yeah, well, it's hard to say anything bad about these guys. I'm defending them already.
Yeah, you're doing it again.
Say bad about them?
Actually, the reason I brought it up is you had to have had the biggest smile of anybody when you watched Joe Panik and how he performed in postseason.
No question. What a shot in the arm he was, just not the postseason, but before that. And then going into the playoffs, and the play everybody's talking about, the diving stop in Game 7, the glove flip, the crawl, the double play. That game could be different. That's Game 7 of the World Series. Yes. That's pretty special. That's a big moment in his career, and a tremendous play.
Did you see it in him? I mean, he was in camp, twice?
Right.
As a non-roster invitee. Did you see it in him?
Well, you never can predict that he would perform as well as he has, because the big league's a different level than the minor leagues, and everybody looks at statistics and how guys are doing. But we've seen a lot over the years. Guys are tearing up AAA. They come up here. They have a hard time fitting in, getting their hits and playing ball, or vice versa. Guys struggling in the minor leagues comes to the major leagues and, finds his stride. But, Joe has the right approach, the right mentality. You saw the ability in him, but again, I couldn't predict that he would have given us the shot in the arm that he did and perform as well as he did as a young player.
Or you could just have him bypass AAA like Matt Duffy, come right out of AA.
Right, Kruk. There's another guy, exactly. I mean, another shot in the arm. What we needed at that point in time, and, he found ways to help us win, pinch hitting, base running, filling in when needed, and, it was, a good time for the infielders and the Giants minor league development people to have those players available for us. And we definitely wouldn't have won if they didn't come up and do what they did.
Yeah, think about that position, second base, for the last 3 World Championships. And with Freddie Sanchez in 2010 and Scudero in 2012, it's hard to imagine that the Giants would have won if it hadn't been for those 3 infielders.
No question. There was, big plays. There's always big moments, big plays in the game, and we had them from all those guys. And it's interesting to note, we're talking about the infield, but you mentioned that. We were talking about it the other day about the 3 World Series, and we had 3 different second basemen. I thought that ball was getting up the middle. There we go.
Well, they do get the force play. It very well could have been an ending double play.
But the Giants score a run on the ground ball, so it's 3-1. Go ahead, Ryan.
Well, we were just saying, not only 3 different second basemen, but we had 3 different closers. I believe we had 3 different left fielders, 3 different center fielders.
Yep.
And, it's amazing to think about all those guys that contributed and how we're able to accomplish that with different guys at those positions.
But one bench coach.
Yeah, how about that?
Yeah. Broadcast team, manager, coaches. We all stayed the same.
Here's Buster Posey. All right, Ronnie, thanks for stopping by.
My pleasure, guys.
You got it. Pagan goes. Here's the throw, and he's going to make it.
Wow.
Got him.
All right, did he get him? Did he ever get to the bag? Great call. What a great call.
He got him. 3-1 Giants.
Giants baseball on Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area is brought to you by Momo's, a San Francisco tradition.
Giants with a 3-1 lead as we head to inning number 3. And here's the pitcher, Carlos Frias, as he fouls this one out of play.
And he's up there hacking.
Breaking ball? Is that the breaking ball you're talking about?
Yeah, the curveball, when your elbow's got chips in it, you'll throw one, it feels great, but then try to throw another one, and it says, don't do that again.
Yeah. So your elbow can talk to you?
Oh, absolutely. It can scream to you. I mean, that's why, pitcher, especially an older pitcher, has to call his own games. There's certain times your arm won't let you throw a pitch.
High fastball, got him. Here's the caught stealing to end the inning.
Well, he slides and stands up before he gets to the bag. Jim Wolf, the veteran umpire at second base, sees that there was a little gappage there between the foot and the bag. And for him, an easy call.
So here's Peterson, who picked up an infield hit in the first inning. And this is driven to right and gone. And that's the 6th home run for Peterson this spring.
I'd like to know how many of them are on first pitch, because he really is aggressive.
You think that Giants have noticed this?
Well, yes, they have. And I know the guy out on the mound has noticed it. He set up in the outside corner. This fastball goes middle in. So that's a location mistake from Matt Cain. High leg kick. The hands stay very calm, very relaxed, and he just unloads. So it tells you two things. He looks fastball and he looks middle in because that's what he got.
Here's Turner, who takes the pitch in tight. Turner doubled and scored in the first inning. Two and 0 to Justin Turner. 3-0 to Justin Turner. Yep, the misters are on. None in this booth, though.
Yeah, I mean, the weather is hotter than we've ever seen it. I mean, it's about 10, 12 degrees higher than normal.
There's a strike.
And if you're sitting underneath those misters, you're saying thank you very much. Didn't Candlestick have misters?
Yeah. It's called the fog.
Oh.
Swing. 3-2 now to Turner.
Every once in a while, I go online to see what's happening to Candlestick and updating as they are continuing the demolition. And I know that saddens you.
Oh, it absolutely does. Belts got it. Well, all the times that ball players that wear Giants uniforms said, I wish they'd blow this place up. Well, they're not actually going to blow it up. They're taking it down piece by piece. And it is sad. We had too many good laughs and memories there.
Yeah, a lot of good memories. And as great as AT&T Park is, it could never be as loud as what Candlestick was.
Here's Yasiel Puig, who doubled in the first inning.
It was one of the greatest home field advantages in the history of the game. And that was the message from Al Rosen and Roger Craig in 1975 when they took over. See that? Yasiel Puig does that when he takes a pitch, and that you get nothing out of that pitch. I mean, that's he just gave up. At the very least, if you know you're going to take a pitch, try and time your back leg to it. Don't just spit on it.
And that pitch is out of play.
But, I mean, those are little things you learn along the way, and he is a young player. But if you're going to take a pitch, and hitters know that going into a pitch, at least try and time it.
And he had him out front, Cain did, on that pitch.
When I played in Philadelphia in 1982, I played with Pete Rose. And Pete Rose, more hits than anybody who ever played the game. And you never saw him take a pitch off. And he would go up there and he was going to take, but he'd always time it to that back leg. And he'd watch it right into a catcher's glove. It was his trademark. But you really learned watching him just how important every pitch was. Get something out of every pitch, even if you're not going to swing at it.
Two and two. Towards the hole and past the diving Crawford. So Puig with a couple of hits today.
Number 9, Rodwell.
The new pace of game rules, and these are the batter requirements. Batter has to keep at least 1 foot in the batter's box throughout his entire time at bat. There are exceptions to it, but basically with nobody on, there are no exceptions to it.
Yeah, if you foul a pitch off, you can come out. If you get knocked down. Here's the first. actually will not be a pitch. As Puig just got back in. Any pitch taken is when you have to stay in the box. Snap throw to first. Puig's got to be thinking, they got something against me?
Try to pick him off at second, at first. Posey's throwing it.
Well,
I tell you what it does do with him, though, Mike. It gets his interest into wanting to steal a bag.
I would be surprised if he doesn't go.
That's a fair ball. Aoki digs it out. And Puig is going to score, so that ties the game. It's a double for Grandal.
Number 16.
Well, a fastball, I mean, really, right at the belt, middle in. That's not a bad pitch to any left-hander. And here he just rakes it. And you see Jim Wolf, the first base umpire, saying, looks pretty good from here. We got a brand new ball game.
So here's Ethier. Ethier struck out in the first inning.
Over the years, these two guys have faced each other a lot, and Andre Ethier has had great success.
Big ownage. Kane right now, back-to-back changeups, both missed. It's 2-0. There's the numbers that Mike was talking about. 30 for 70. And a strike. So Kane hits the outside corner at 90.
Nice location with that 2-0 fastball.
High and wide. 3-1. So 3 hits in the inning. Peterson home run. Turner hit a line drive but was caught by Belt. Puig and Grandal with base hits. And the walk. So that'll bring up Alex Guerrero. Dave Righetti comes out. A little pep talk here.
Yeah, and a breather. You know, for the most part, the Giants have really put Kane in a controlled environment. I mean, the first 2 outings in spring, he was pitching in the A games, but they were short pitch count type outings. But once he got it to where he was stretching it out, they would put him down the minor leagues so they could control the environment, meaning if he got to a certain pitch count, they would stop the inning. But here, he's getting tested a little bit out of the stretch, and he's having to throw a lot of pitches. So I think that visit from Righetti is just nothing more than to give him a bit of a breather.
And Guerrero is 0 for 1. He popped out in the second. Swing and a miss. No balls and 1 strike. Kike Hernandez is on deck. It's a 3-3 ball game here in the third. Tapped. Kane, lots of spin on this ball, but Kane recovers and throws his best fastball to Belt to end the inning. Dodgers tie it up. Posey to lead it off.
authentic opening day, and it's going to be at AT&T Park. You get to watch the Giants take on the Diamondbacks. That'll be Monday, April 6th. Doors will open at 6 p.m. Game time is at 7. Free admission, free hot dogs to the first 5,000 fans. Foam Fist, a bunch of those are free to the first 3,000 fans, and the World Series trophies, the triplets, are going to be there. So check it out. Monday, April 6th. Doors open at 6. Game time at 7. Here's Buster Posey.
Foam Fists?
Foam Fist. Posey knocked in a run with a base hit in the first inning. Carlos Frias. Nice swing and a foul back. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Posey starting to get more playing time as Giants draw near to the bell ringer. April 6th, Giants going to open up against the Diamondbacks down here in Arizona.
Buster gets jammed as he rolls this one to Guerrero, and Guerrero throws him out. And here's Belt. The first 3 games of the year will be in Arizona, and then the Giants will see the Padres 4 times at AT&T Park South.
The brand new Padres.
Called Petco Park. Here's Belt. Belt knocked in a run in the first. Yeah, the Padres are going to be a lot better. Padres, even when they weren't that talented, always give the Giants trouble, especially in San Diego.
Well, they always pitched and they always played defense. They just didn't have much offense, but you can't say that anymore.
Belt off his foot. First 2 weeks, Comcast, Sportsnet, Bay Area. Look at the 4 different starting times in San Diego. And that's when the pregame show starts. But there are 4 different starting times. 0-2 to Belt. Belt, base hit. Belt didn't believe me today.
About what?
He was a little bummed. I said, what's the matter? He said, well, he got dumped on by a bird right in the bill of his cap.
Yeah.
And you've always said, that's good luck. He didn't believe me. He's 2 for 2.
It happens. Well, here's proof positive. A little inside-out job right back up the middle. And I think this is what he has to do. I mean, he's got to start staying inside the ball a little bit more with that type of swing. He got a little pull happy, and then he starts striking out.
Yep.
And it happened to him. The last time we saw him on TV was an NBC game a couple nights ago, and he did not have a good night, so making some adjustments back to the middle of the field.
Ishikawa struck out in the first. And Frias is staying right in on the hands of Ishikawa. A 3-3 ball game here in the 3rd inning. Pulled foul. Crawford on deck.
We got a man making a play. Oh, yeah. It's ready. Our ball dude, Commando, no glove.
Different rules here in Scottsdale. I miss our ball dudes.
Yep. They've been working out.
In tight? They've been working out?
Oh, yeah.
Have you ever watched their workouts?
Oh, those strict.
Does it involve sitting on a stool?
That's the whole workout. Well, you can't just sit on a stool for 9 innings. I mean, you got to work up a couple innings at a time.
They let balls go between their legs during this workout.
Runner goes. Belt is going to be out.
And that'll end the inning.
And yes, they do, to answer your question.
Just checking. 4th inning coming up.
Can host the exclusive event each season, and it's the World Series Champions Ring Ceremony presented by Tiffany and Company. You can see the Giants players and coaches receive their rings. The first 40,000 fans will receive their very own replica ring courtesy of AT&T. That's the ring ceremony and 5 other games included in the ring ceremony 6-pack. sfgiants.com/mini-pack. Check it out.
Hernandez takes a pitch inside, 1 ball and no strikes. It's a 3-3 ball game. And joining us, who has always wanted to be a color guy on TV, is Sergio Romo. So here's your shot, Serge.
Color guy, huh?
Yeah. So how you doing?
Hey, fellas, what's up? Here we are, enjoying a triple digits degree weather out here, and watching Kane do his thing.
So if I read all the stories correctly, and if I heard you correctly, the whole thing about being a free agent wasn't very fun.
No, it really wasn't for me.
Popped up. Buster got a beat on it. Looks like he does. Was it stressful?
I have to admit, it was one of those things where the fact that the uncertainty of where I was going to play, even if I was going to have a place to play, not knowing when the phone was ringing who it was going to be, if it was somebody, it could have been just my dad could have called me and I would have jumping at the phone, trying to see who it was. It was just one of those things where they say you got a chance to choose where you want to play, and that's a good thing about it. But what they don't tell you, it's a chance of those choose where you want to play of those that offer you a contract or those situations that are fitting and suitable for you and actually, can actually work for you. So, definitely didn't like being out there.
And it turned out exactly the way you wanted it.
Definitely. I got an opportunity here with the Giants to be somebody, to do something with my life, and here I am just trying to take advantage of that opportunity. I'm very appreciative of that, and it was hard to ignore and to not think about the history that we have, and everything that we've been able to accomplish here throughout my tenure. It's been very fun and real privilege, so it was hard to not consider that and be appreciative of it.
Well, let's talk about that history, because you're one of a unique select group of 4 relievers. You, Javier Lopez, Santiago Casilla, Jeremy Affeldt. All 4 of you guys have the 3 rings. Did that have something to do with your decision to come back?
Oh, definitely. those guys, those three guys, they've been such a key part to me being able to stick in the big leagues. The way they've helped me, they understand me. The way they talk to me, they know how to talk to me. They know how to get through to me. Plus, I mean, they accept me in my my shenanigans, so to speak, and my way of being. So they accept it and they appreciate it, and I appreciate them just giving me an opportunity to compliment them as people, as human beings, and as a teammate. They come out and they work hard every day, and it's not hard to follow them, you know, because they're such good dudes.
Hey, a different look this spring. You're throwing sliders. What's up with that?
Well, I mean, got to come out there and just work on stuff. You know, for me, in the past, I've worked on specific pitches, throughout spring, and this time it's just more or less just get ready. I'm confident with what I have. You know, I was fighting a little shoulder thing there for a little bit, but once I got over that, it's just let's just let it go. You know, go for it. You know, there's no secrets. Everyone knows what I got. It's not like I'm coming out with a secret pitch or a secret motion, or you know, I'm going to come out with something like, you know, ninja smoke or any of that. None of that type of stuff. So it's just me just coming out trying to be myself.
Well, thanks for stopping by, sir. Good job, baby. See, he can do this.
He's good.
He is good. 3-3 ball game. Giants are coming up. Scottsdale Stadium, the grassy area out in the outfield, packed. As it'll be Crawford, Duffy, and Matt Cain to hit here in the fourth. 3-3 ball game. And the first pitch to Crawford is high. Crawford bounced out to second to end the first inning. What a great day, huh?
Well, it really is. It has been another incredible spring training weather-wise here in Arizona. You know, we watch scores and highlights from around baseball, not just the Cactus League, but the Grapefruit League in Florida. And they've had to deal with a lot of rain here this last week. And it was cool early in their spring. But here in Arizona, it's been perfect.
I'd like to see a little rain around Northern California.
Just turn the misters on.
Strike to Crawford. So Matt Cain headed down to the bullpen.
Well, he'll go down and throw a few more pitches.
And Crawford's going to dump one into left. Nice at bat. So Duffy's going to hit with Crawford at first.
Down to the pin, probably throw another 20, 25 pitches. You see his line, 66 pitches through the 4 innings. But with Cain, I think the big thing that stood out today for Giants fans to see was he's got his curveball back, number one. I don't think he's quite as fine with his command as you're going to see. His fastball command was not as stellar as we're normally used to seeing.
There's Duffy. Duffy takes a strike.
But I think he'll consider this a successful day, a building block, go down and finish it off.
Now let's see. So today's Sunday. Probably see him in one of those games against the A's.
See Ryan Vogelsong warming up. He'll pitch the 5th. Well, I would think so. Over the weekend.
No game a week from today. That's a travel day for the Giants where they will travel back here. Justin Maxwell is on deck. In tight to Duffy. We asked Bruce Bochy the other day about Matt Duffy. He said, well, he's my best hitter right now.
He is. I mean, he's had that kind of spring. The Giants made a lot of cuts and send downs today, and Duffy's still there standing.
And a base hit to right field for Duffy. As Puig
he's got a cannon.
gets it all the way back in the air.
Seen a lot of this from Duffy this spring. That's a high mistake. But to Duffy's credit, stayed inside it and went with the location to right field. And watch the arm of Yasiel Puig. And he loves to show it off. Why wouldn't you?
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's got to be one of the top 3 arms in the game. I mean, it's the best in the National League, I think. I just don't know all the arms in the American League, so I'm saying top 3. It may be the best one because it is a howitzer.
So here's Maxwell trying to make the team. And he takes a pitch low and away. He's got a chance to make the team.
Well, you're right. As you mentioned, a lot of
Perez was sent down today, right?
Juan Perez sent back to Sacramento.
Shallow center field. Peterson's going to get there. A lot of transactions today.
Andrew Susac sent down to Sacramento. That was a bit of a surprise. There was really heavy competition between Susac and Hector Sanchez for that backup catcher job. Brown, Duvall, Perez, Strickland.
Is this Eli coming out? Eli Wallach?
Tim Wallach is the acting manager today, and he's going to make a pitching change.
So Frias departs. We'll let you know who's coming in. It is a 3-3 ball game, and we will be back.
Well, we'd like to have you join us for the Bay Bridge Series. The Friday and Saturday games will be right here on Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area. 7 o'clock on Friday, 1 o'clock on Saturday. The Thursday game is on CSN California. Glenn and Ray will do that game, and then we'll have the very next two. So check us out right here on Comcast Sportsnet. A 3-3 ball game.
The pitcher now for the Dodgers will be Juan Nicasio. If you think you've heard of Juan Nicasio's name before, well, you have. He used to be with the Rockies this spring. He's been in 6 games, 5 out of the bullpen, 1 as a starter. 1-0 with a 5.40 ERA. Look at the strikeouts to walks. 10 strikeouts in 10 innings against no walks. With the Rockies, for most of his career in Colorado, he was a starter. And we have seen him be very, very good.
So here's Nori Aoki. Aoki is 1 for 2. There's a pickoff play, and Crawford back in. Aoki hit a bullet to open up the bottom of the first inning that was caught by a diving Puig, and then he lined a single to left in the second. Drive again. This one caught by Hernandez, and I have no idea what Duffy was doing, because he thought the ball had bounced, and that's a double play. Through 4 innings here at Scottsdale Stadium, it's a 3-3 ball game.
Well, the NL West rival Colorado Rockies are coming to San Francisco to kick off the first homestand of the 2015 season. That's Wednesday, on Wednesday, April 15th. It's a 7:15 start. And on that April 15th game, the first 20,000 fans will receive the 2014 World Champion Snow Globe featuring the triplets. That's right, the 3 World Series trophies, the triplets. And that is all courtesy of Comcast Sportsnet. If you want tickets, go to sfgiants.com/tickets.
Ryan Vogelsong will take the place of Matt Cain.
Take a look at his numbers for spring. 6th time that he's come in. He's made 4 starts. This will be his 2nd time out of the bullpen. 1-2 with a 7.41 ERA. Let's take a look at the play that ended it for the Giants. A ball that really was difficult to see. And I don't know if Crawford had blocked the vision of Matt Duffy over first base. But regardless, Duffy's got to get back to first base. I mean, this is a head spasm here.
Spring training. Here's Peterson, who's 2 for 2. Homered in his last at bat.
If you're going to make that mistake, make it here.
First pitch is low and away.
Justin Maxwell, the new left fielder for the Giants. Now we think that Kike Hernandez caught the ball on a fly. Crawford gets back to second, but Duffy looked confused as to whether or not, should I stay or should I go?
So Crawford puts it away. Watch the umpire. See if he's single. No catch. Yeah, so that's no catch. So that's one out on Duffy, and that's the other out on Aoki.
Well, did Turner have his foot on the bag? I'm not sure if Justin Turner, the first baseman for the Dodgers.
I got a simple solution.
What's that?
Just act like it didn't happen. Just didn't happen.
Spring training, come on, get your work in,
Didn't
take
count
a hike.
Anyway.
Well,
Turner takes a strike.
But if Duffy sees the safe call that it was a no catch, now there's the I don't know if Turner ever touched first base, but still that takes Duffy completely off the hook.
It does.
Because he's out. And that was not a head spasm. So, Matt Duffy, we were hard on you for no reason.
Aoki's fault for hitting another line drive at somebody.
Yeah, another good at bat for Aoki.
In tight to Turner. On deck is Yasiel Puig, a 3-3 ball game.
But we haven't got the advantage of replay here in spring training, and I hope we never will.
That wouldn't be a good idea.
Yeah.
Two-two pitch. Here it is. On the ground, Belt. Belt will shovel it to Vogelsong.
It's just a great tip, and we see it every year, and it really bears repeating. If you bobble the ball, simply separate your hands. And I'm talking to all you infielders, because the ball is going to drop straight down, and you reach up and pick it up with your bare hand and make the play.
So here's Puig. Puig's got a couple of hits. Yasmani Grandal is on deck. Line to left, Maxwell there, and that'll end the inning. Panic, Pagan, Posey coming up, 3-3.
on Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area is brought to you by the law offices of Stephen Moskowitz. Aggressive, accessible, experienced tax lawyers. Call Moskowitz LLP at 888-TAX-DEAL.
Bottom of the 5th inning, a 3-3 ball game. Beautiful shot at the Desert. So Juan Nicasio will face Panik, Pagan, and Buster Posey. Lars Anderson is now at first. And Curletta is in right field. So here's Panik. Joe Panik's been on base twice in this game. He doubled in the first inning, then he drew a walk in the second. And it's down low. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. Guerrero, the third baseman, way off the line at third and in. And this is hit down the left field line. Ethier on the move. He's not going to get it. It rolls up against the wall, and Panik's got his second double. And his second double to the opposite field. So that's a good thing.
His doubles are coming just at the right time for Joe Panik.
Number 16,
And as we see him do so often, he goes the opposite way. High fastball right up there above the belt. And just a nice, solid swing of the bat. Back spins it out past Ethier, who had been playing Panik a bit towards the left center field gap. Defense opened up a little lane of opportunity, and he finds it.
So here's Pagan. And Pagan takes a healthy rip.
Both of the doubles off the bat of Panik today have been opposite field doubles. One split the gap in left center his first AB, and this last one goes down the line.
Here's the 0-1 to Pagan. And Pagan takes high. Angel Pagan singled and scored in the first. Then he picked up an RBI on a fielder's choice in the second. Casio's not exactly picking up the pace here.
Well, that has been his reputation since we've seen him come in the big leagues. He's always been slow. You know how you get used to seeing a guy in a certain uniform? I mean, Nicasio, his whole big league career, a Rocky. And now you see him in a Dodger uniform. He looks like a different guy totally.
Absolutely. Until he takes 45 seconds between pitches, and then you realize it's the same guy.
Yeah.
There's a strike to Pagan. And that'll even up the count at 2-2. Buster Posey on deck. A 3-3 game here in the fifth. And Pagan chases a pitch that he'd like to have back.
Well, runner at second base, nobody out. It's a strikeout situation. That's exactly what Nicasio gets. But I think this movement just explodes on Pagan. And he's in the 2-strike mode. He's going to protect. And that high fastball just takes off, running away from him. I mean, that looked like a left-handed cutter.
Yeah. Buster Posey, an RBI single in the first and a ground out to third in the third. Here he takes one just inside. It's at 93, so a lot of life on that Nicasio fastball.
He's always had good stuff. Mid-90s consistently with lots of movement.
Swing and a miss.
Take a little off. What the slider look like?
Brandon Belt on deck. Panik with his lead. And Posey hits a high fly ball to right. Perletta is underneath it, and he'll make the catch. Panik's going to tag.
Look at the Giants bench, thinned out a little bit with all the cuts and sit-downs today. And really, this is a little bit earlier than you normally see teams trim their roster down. Certainly it's the earliest that we've seen the Giants do it in a long time. But you'll start to see more and more around baseball. Giants down, I think, at 28 or 29 guys now. So it's getting short, get close to the final 25.
Yeah, and they will have to take some extra players for the Bay Bridge series. They always do. Belt takes outside for a ball, 1-0.
Talked about Andrew Susac, who got the notice today that he was going to AAA. For Susac, that's not that bad of a deal. Number one, he's going to play every day. Number two, it's going to be in Sacramento, where Susac is from. Giants AAA affiliate has moved from Fresno to Sacramento this year.
So every home game will be Andrew Susac Day.
Every day will be Andrew Susac Day, no doubt. But still, I mean, he has to be disappointed. But that's what happens. You're a young player, and there is competition for a job. He did nothing just to have to get sent down. He had a great spring. He was injured for a time, but he has options left, and because he is a guy projected out to be a big leaguer for a long time, they want him to play.
A strike to Belt. Well, another example of options or no options. Ray Adrianza doesn't have any options. So the Giants know that if he doesn't make the 25-man roster, somebody's going to grab him.
So they're going to lose him. That's right. And that is one of the other positions on the team that's kind of for grabs right now. The two guys that are going head-to-head, Adrianza, as you mentioned, and Matt Duffy. And Matt Duffy has just been the MVP in spring.
And Belt will take the walk, and Vogelsong's going to hit.
Pitcher, 32, Ryan Vogelsong.
See the numbers for Vogelsong hitting the last season, 7 for 61. There was time that he was really a good hitting pitcher, but that hasn't happened for a couple years.
Takes a rip and fouls it back.
It's a good hack.
When he broke his, was it his hand?
His little finger.
I forget, was he trying to swing or bunt?
I think he was trying to bunt.
And he had a ball run right in on him.
Like 5 pins put in his little finger on his throwing hand.
Swing and a miss. So 0-2 to Ryan Vogelsong. Vogelsong, like Romo, was a free agent. And he signed back with the Giants.
He was really close to being a Houston Astro. And he was psyched to come back.
Out of play. That went into the parking lot. That's going to be right on top of my rent-a-car. There will be a ding in my... Actually, that's not true. It's going to go right to Dave Fleming's rent-a-car. His cars have a way of attracting baseballs.
And baseball magnets. Dave Fleming has been back with the broadcast team this weekend.
And it's nice to have him here. And a base hit for Vogelsong. And Panik is going to score.
It's great. As Vogelsong was running down the first baseline, I think he was thinking, wow, I'm glad Puig's not out there right.
So he's going to throw me out.
Nice 2-strike, 2-out at bat. Gives the Giants the lead back. So we saw a lot of this early in his career. He really was a good hitting pitcher. Then he went into like a 3-year slump.
And he couldn't explain it either. So here's Crawford. Crawford is 1 for 2. And the first pitch is in and out of the glove of Grandal. There's our broadcast partners. We love them both.
John Miller on your left, Dave Fleming on your right. Good guys. Fun to go to work with those two.
Fun to go to dinner with.
Yeah, those are good nets.
And that pitch looked like a strike, but Nicasio doesn't get the call. It's 2 balls and no strikes. We finally convinced Mario Alioto that he needed to have a broadcaster's dinner with us. A couple of reasons. One, he was going to pay. 2, he just needed to be entertained.
Well, that's true.
And entertained he was. And now he wants to do it every year. There's Rick Monday and Kevin Kennedy, Dodger announcers. Mario's got to be what? Vice president of everything that Larry Baer doesn't do?
Senior vice president.
That's it. Senior vice president of everything Larry doesn't do. There it is. 3 balls and no strikes to Crawford.
Well, when Mario pays, you know you're going to drink good wine, though.
Yeah. Crawford with a good, healthy 3-0 rip. Though, you know, the front office people right now, this is a slow week for them. They got nothing going on.
Yeah, that's true.
They got a 162-game schedule coming up.
And a short offseason to get ready.
Crawford out of play, 3-2. There's number 26 warming up.
That's Sergio Santos. Another hard thrower.
One guy you won't see down there this year, and that's our old friend Brian Wilson. He gone.
Brian Wilson had a year left on a contract, guaranteed, big cash, and he was let go.
And Crawford takes the walk.
And Nicasio thought he had a strike. So Chuck Krim going to come out and try and calm the waters for Juan Nicasio.
It's going to be Matt Duffy.
Who has had a tremendous spring.
Well, the umpires are going to let Mr. Grimm just stay out there as long as he wants.
Chuck Krim, Former relief pitcher at the big league level, pitched with Milwaukee and the Angels and the Cubs. Well, Sergio Santos is good to go. It's 90 degrees out there today at least. And it'll take long to get heated up. Tried to throw that slider in the outside corner, kind of left it up inside, and Duffy almost walked into it.
Two and 0. And a strike to Duffy. That was a pretty good pitch to hit right there.
One of the things that's happened in this inning is Darwin Barney, who was at second base to start this game, has come over to shortstop. And Kike Hernandez, the shortstop, has gone over to second base, and that really has all to do with the new role for Darwin Barney, who's going to be the utility infielder for him off the bench this year. It's had a tough transition for Barney, who was an everyday second baseman with the Cubs for a long time.
I wouldn't want to go in that direction. You're moving further away from the base you got to throw to.
Second baseman going to shortstop. We saw him earlier this year in this spring at third.
But if that's your role, then you got to get some innings at that spot.
And a fair ball down the right field line. Belt scores. Vogelsong scores. Duffy, another opposite field base hit. And that's going to be it for Nicasio.
And that's a 3-hit day for Matt Duffy. And for a young player who's trying to make a club, this is one of those at-bats that has a tendency to linger in the mind of a manager. Again, everything they've thrown outside, he's staying with that side of the field. It's a right past Anderson. Have a day, Matt Duffy.
So we got a new pitcher coming in.
It's 6-3 Giants. .com's insider Alex Pavlovich. Follow Alex on Twitter at Alex Pavlovich. Log on to csnbarrier.com all season long, and you can check out what Alex is going to write about. We'll have news and notes on the San Francisco Giants.
It's a good ad. Alex, a hard worker.
Yep.
Who we got, Mike?
Sergio Santos, the new pitcher for these Dodgers, and this is what he has done this spring. He's having a good camp. 9 strikeouts in 7 innings, no walks. Santos has pitched in big leagues with the White Sox and the Blue Jays. 6'4", 215-pounder.
And he's facing Justin Maxwell, who skies this one into center field. Peterson will put it away, and that'll end the inning. Giants on the board 3 times. It's 6-3. San Francisco.
Productions brings you the special spring training edition of Inside the Clubhouse, the official Giants TV show. The latest episode, Defy the Odds, follows the players around the country as they begin their journey as defending world champions. You can watch this episode on demand at sfgiants.com/ITC starting tomorrow, March 30th at 9 a.m. Pacific time.
Here's Grandal. The Giants are leading 6-3, and Vogelsong opens up the at-bat with a called strike.
Yeah, good day to have an umbrella.
We got a Brewer fan.
Oh, they're everywhere.
Pitches down low.
So who leads the league in fun down here? The Giants fans or the Brewer fans?
I think we're a little partial to the city of Scottsdale over, where are they at? Marysville?
Marysville. Plenty of good attitude in both ballparks, I'll say this.
That group would get along really well.
Yeah, no doubt.
There's a strike to Grandal.
And we encourage Giants fans who may be watching the broadcast that if you ever do want to travel, and Giants fans they're getting a great reputation as travelers. Check out Milwaukee.
Yeah, you'll have fun in Milwaukee.
Great place to watch a game, great city to go enjoy baseball in. With the Giants' success the last 5 years, anywhere we go in the country now, you'll see orange and black. Giants Hotel and whatever town they're playing in.
Ball's carrying. This could go, and it is off the top of the wall. So Grandal's going to have a double.
Well, I'm sure the Dodgers are pretty excited about what they're seeing from Grandal going the other way. I mean, he had a reputation of being a little pull happy in San Diego, but here he almost pumps one out. Now, it is a day where you're seeing carry, but still, I mean, this is a good opposite field at bat. Maxwell, who's 6'5", almost hauls it in. Just a little too high.
So here's Andre Ethier.
That's at least a 10-foot fence out there.
Ethier, a strikeout victim and a walk. Both those at-bats came against Matt Cain. Badgers are in.
Wisconsin is in the Final Four. And my partner from Racine, Wisconsin is very happy about that.
People around here not that happy.
Well, Arizona got beat for the second year in a row to the Badgers. So the
They had fun in
Wildcat fans, not
Madison
happy.
last night.
Yes, they did. They were dancing in the streets of Madison, Wisconsin.
Strike to Ethier.
But they pretty much dance every night in the streets of Madison,
This was
Wisconsin.
just a different reason to dance in the streets. One ball and 2 strikes. And it's high to Ethier. Yep. He was cheering for the Badgers yesterday. Probably a Badger bar around here.
I used to think there was one in every city. I'm convinced there's one in every town in America.
Well, if it's not a Badger bar, it's a Packer bar, that's for sure. Saw Aaron Rodgers kind of adopted that group, didn't he?
Yeah, he was there enjoying the March Madness tournament. Aaron Rodgers, the quarterback of the Packers. Big baseball fan, too.
Yeah. 3-2 to Ethier. Pickoff play. And it caroms off the glove of Crawford, trying to get that glove down. And they had a shot at Grandal.
Did you ever get picked off in spring training?
Oh, I'm sure I did.
Again, a better throw. They could have had him.
You have to really be alert as a base runner in spring training because managers and coaches are going to insist that the pitchers and infielders put on those pickoff plays. This is shot up the middle for a base hit. Pagan's throw is going to be cut off. So Ethier with an RBI single, and it's 6-4. And that'll bring up Alex Guerrero. Ethier is going to leave the game.
Number 7, Alex Guerrero.
And 94 is coming in.
That's Jacob Scavuzzo.
Jacob Scavuzzo.
So Scavuzzo. So here's Guerrero, right-handed hitter. He's popped out and he's bounced back to the pitcher. And that's tapped to Belt, and it's foul. Eight hits for the Dodgers, 11 hits for the Giants. We're in the 6th inning. In front of a packed house here in Scottsdale. In on his hands, Guerrero digs it out. It's 0-2. The Giants yesterday played a game against their top prospects. They called it the Futures. And they had 8,000 people here. 8,000 people for really what was an inter-squad game.
It was really, though, an opportunity to see just what was down in the Giants farm system. And what the Giants fans saw was some pretty good talent. Ooh, pitch. Ogleson definitely thought he had one there. Set up in the outside corner. Little breaking ball just a bit low.
It's 1-2 to Guerrero. And this is hit on the ground. Crawford on the back end. That's one. That's two.
A pretty spectacular turn, and they just sort of make it look routine. And what's spectacular about this play is how quickly Crawford, going to his backhand, gets square to his target. All the while, his momentum sort of going towards the foul line.
Well, he also got a lot on the throw. And if you're a second baseman, you're saying thank you very much. Watch how Crawford gets on this throw.
It's just a strike.
Perfect. I go there and kiss the guy if he did. All the time. Here's Hernandez, and Hernandez takes a strike. So Vogelson's got a pretty good breaking ball. Not always a great pitch in the desert.
Yeah, curveballs are a little bit better than sliders. Sliders are the ones that are temperamental down here. Sliders and sinkers.
Look out.
Those are the ones that can be a little weird. Kind of like throwing at Denver. Oh, you got to make a play.
And the 0-2 pitch to Kike Hernandez is outside for a ball. Dodgers have picked up a run here in the 6th. It's 6-4. And I'm assuming the little guy got it.
Well, the guy with the visor is the guy that missed it. He had a chance at it.
Well, he didn't get a second chance, did he?
No. Hey, it's spring training for fans, too.
Foul down the left field line.
The little guy brought his glove.
Yep. So that's who ended up with the baseball.
That's who should get the baseball.
Two and two to Hernandez.
You know, the thing that's amazing in spring training, especially here in Arizona, is the amount of balls that go through a batting practice.
Got him. And they'll end the inning. Top of the order coming up. It's nice to have those. Storm in your TiVo, your DVR.
Yeah, they're fun to watch.
Go back, flip them around. Here's Nori Aoki.
Aoki's had a good game. He's hit the ball hard 3 times. He's got 1 hit.
Luis Mateo in at third base now for the Dodgers. Alex Guerrero has finished his afternoon. Jacob Scavuzzo stays in the game. He's in left field. And Travis Witherspoon now in center field.
It's a ball and a strike to Nori Aoki. Which is high. 2 balls and 1 strike. On deck is Joe Panik. And then Angel Pagan. In the dirt.
You know, it usually goes hand in hand is when a guy starts to hone his strike zone down and he gets commanded, where he starts to get better pitches to hit, his average starts to go up, and that's what's happened with Aoki. Early in spring, he used to swing at everything. Now, be much more selective.
And the walk.
But that's what spring training's for. How long did it take you to get a strike zone?
How long take me to do what?
Get a strike zone where you're comfortable with it.
Yeah, it takes a couple of weeks. I still think hitters could get ready in 2 weeks.
Yeah, you're probably right. Pitchers, different story.
Here's Joe Panik, couple of doubles and a walk.
I mean, look, we watched it firsthand. What was it, 1976, when there was a lockout? They had a spring training that was abbreviated. Everybody got ready in 2.5 weeks. I don't even know if it was 2.5 weeks, but no problem. And that was back in 1976 when guys were not working out in the offseason like they do now. A lot of guys had to work in the offseason.
Where you went to spring training to get in shape. Now, if you're not in shape, you're in trouble. Panik with a base hit. Aoki's going to head over to third, so the Giants will have runners at the corners for Pagan.
Yeah, this is the day the Giants have been waiting for Joe Panik. Coming into today, he was 8 for 52. He's been hitting the ball hard. He hasn't got any hits, and he wasn't hearing any of that. He just needed some hits. Today, 2 opposite field doubles. Here, another bullet back up the middle. Just a little tuck with that knee. Very, very calm lower body. Head stays very still. Is that almost a smile? We haven't seen a smile on Joe Panik for about 2 weeks.
No. Here's Pagan. Pagan is 1 for 3. And he taps this one off his foot. He struck out on a high fastball swinging in the 5th. Off of Juan Nicasio. So it's no balls and 1 strike. Buster Posey on deck. Outside corner, 0-2.
Pure strikeout situation for Sergio Santos, and that's what he's pitching for.
And Pagan is staying alive.
And when you're trying to make a club, as Santos is, I mean, when you have a clear, defined situation out there on the mound, as this is, it's a strikeout situation. How you handle those situations has everything to do with the reputation that you gain in the eyes of your manager and your pitching coach.
And a base hit to right field. Oki scores. Pagan with a nice at bat. And it's 7-4.
Now this is a bat where you're just using your hands. You get the defense mode with 2 strikes on you. Watch the lower body plant. Hands stay back. He's got a little reach. Because his lower body was in position, his hands were allowed to think for themselves, and he comes up with a nice 2-strike base hit for an RBI.
Gary Brown now pinch running for Angel Pagan. So here's Buster Posey, 1 for 3. Swinging a high drive to left. Witherspoon dives and he can't get it, and it bounces over the wall for a ground rule double. Panik will come in to score. Brown to third, Posey with a double.
Well,
and it's 8-4.
Posey up there looking for something off speed, because he was not fooled, and he backspins this thing. And you can see Witherspoon, the center fielder, been shaved him over to right center. You got to give him an A for an effort right there.
Yeah, he almost caught that.
He almost pulls it off, too.
Whoa. Is that it?
Perez will pinch run for Buster Posey. Here's Belt. Dodgers now have to play the infield in. And Belt takes one wide, 1-0. Down low. So the Giants with a walk and 3 straight hits here in the 6th inning. This is one of those Arizona days where you can see a lot of hits. Infield's hard. Ball's carrying. Not good days for pitchers.
Well,
I'm assuming Florida's a little better than this.
Well, Florida, you've got a little more humidity in the air, so you're going to get a little more movement on your slider, a little more movement on your sinker. And I think perhaps, too, that the infields are not quite as hard.
Right.
I mean, Arizona, notorious for hard infields. I mean, you trained in Tucson all these years with Cleveland, and that's the hardest infield I've ever seen in my life.
The only one that I thought was harder was the one in Sun City. Remember that old park?
Oh, yeah, where the Brewers were.
Bell takes wide, ball 4.
The Sun City field was a sunken field, and you got no breeze whatsoever, and it was like an oven. And that infield baked, and it was like concrete. Our guys hated to slide in Sun City.
Oh, I hate taking ground balls. Plus, look, you're on a bus for almost 3 hours to Sun City from Tucson. Come on. Vogelsong had an RBI single in the 5th. Here he fouls it back. I think Vogelsong worked on his hitting in the offseason.
He was on that one. Well, you talk about training in Tucson, of which there are no teams in Tucson anymore. I mean, they've been down in Tucson since the 40s. Gone. Padres used to be in Yuma. Angels used to be in Palm Springs. I mean, there was big-time road trips in Arizona back in the day. Now, every team is located here in the Valley of the Sun.
Yeah, now players complain if they got to go to Glendale.
Yeah. If it's an hour ride, guys are... You can't believe the moaning and the groaning.
Swing and a miss.
Maybe the best breaking ball Santos has thrown. That was a good one.
Bases are loaded. Nobody out. And Vogelsong will take a seat.
Hey, if you think you're going to hit into a double play, strike out.
And Tim Wallach's coming out. So, we got a new pitcher coming in. We'll let you know when we come back. It's 8-4 Giants.
A San Francisco tradition.
8-4 Giants. They do have the bases loaded here in the sixth. New pitcher.
Jeremy Horst, big left-hander, 6'4", 220-pounder. He's the new pitcher now for the Dodgers. Last year with Lehigh Valley, 4-2 with a 3.98 ERA. Fastball, curveball, changeup guy out of Armstrong Atlantic State University. He's got to be the pride of Armstrong Atlantic State University.
Absolutely. So here's Crawford. Crawford's 1 for 2. And on the first pitch, grounds this one. And Anderson gets the force play at home. So everybody else moves up a base. Crawford was going after that first pitch no matter what. And here's Duffy. So Duffy's had a good day. Knocked in a pair of runs with a single in the fifth. He's walked. He's got 2 singles. And he'll be at the plate with the bases loaded. And now there are 2 outs.
Hey, look at those numbers across the board. 378, couple big flies, 11 RBIs. Your on-base percentage is over 400. Those numbers are saying, take me, Mr. Bochy.
Out to left field. And that'll end the inning. Giants score pair. We'll go to the 7th. It's 8-4 San Francisco.
by Hanwha. You can join us for an exclusive pregame VIP experience in Triples Alley as we celebrate 3 World Series titles in 5 years. You can take your photo with the 3 World Series trophies, watch batting practice from the outfield warning track, and you'll be complimentary food and beverage. And, of course, you can enjoy the post-game fireworks show. For more information or you want to purchase tickets, go to sfgiants.com/tickets and click on the Triples Alley experience.
A lot of changes. One that is still out there, and that's Ryan Vogelsong. Hit on the ground to third, and it's under the glove of Duffy. So Darwin Barney with a leadoff single. Kind of what we're talking about, the hard infields here. You're going to have base runners all the time.
Pulling off on speed for horse, number 89, Brian Bergamy.
Pitch hitting for the Dodgers for 89, Brian Bergamy. 89, Brian Bergamy.
Brian Bergamy is going to pinch hit.
You guys call a great game.
So here's Bergamy as he stands in.
Love you guys.
And a breaking ball for a called strike. That's Javi Lopez. And that pitch sails outside. Hector Sanchez behind the dish. We'll catch up on the defense. Brown in center, Perez in right. Duffy started the game. He's still at third, but it's Adrianza, Hicks, and Duvall from short to first, and Hector Sanchez behind the dish. 3-0 pitch is high, ball 4. So Vogelsong working himself into some trouble with a single and a walk. And this is Witherspoon.
We should talk about that Brian Bergamy a little bit. I mean, he deserves it. This is his 14th year of organized baseball. He's got no big league time. And he played in the independent leagues for 6 years.
And it's down low, so Vogelsong falls behind.
7 years. 1 year he's in Mexico, and then 3 independent teams, St. Paul, Sugarland, and York.
He was getting at bats, wasn't he?
Now, minor league at bats, he's had 2,704.
Vogelsong and the 1-0 pitch to Witherspoon, and there's a strike. So Vogelsong gets back into the strike zone.
So Brian Bergamy, I tip my cap to you, pal. Gamer. No doubt he'll be a coach when he's done playing. No doubt.
And Vogelsong not missing by much. It's 2 balls and 1 strike.
I mean, you play 6 years of independent league baseball. Nobody can contest your love of the game. Because you're not making a lot of iron.
You are not. There's a strike. You're not staying in the best hotels.
No.
You're probably not on an airplane.
I mean, that year he started out in the Mexican leagues. You don't fly there, and your hotels, well, they're not the best. And then he went to 3 independent teams in the same year.
Down low. So it's 3-2. Barney at second, Bergamy at first. 3 balls and 2 strikes here in the 7th inning.
Just a 3-2 challenge with the fastball. Throws it right by him. Well, he knows he can't walk him, so rare back and go country hardball. And Vogelsong wins, and that'll be his last hitter he faces.
So here's Bruce Bochy coming out. We're going to get a new pitcher. It looks like it is Javier Lopez. Giants are leading 8-4.
By Toyota, #1 in MPG, durability, and resale value. Toyota, let's go places.
Here in Scottsdale, it's a 8-4 lead for the Giants as Lopez replaces Vogelsong on a really, really nice Sunday afternoon. Getaway day for us.
That's right. We'll be heading north. Giants will break camp on Thursday. Or Wednesday night. Is it Wednesday night?
I think they play Wednesday and leave it after the game.
That's the deal. And then they start the Bay Bridge series with the A's on Thursday. So there you go. There's the numbers for Javier Lopez. This will be game number 9. 7 strikeouts in 5 2/3. Against 1 walk, and he's throwing a new old pitch.
And this is Anderson, the first baseman, and a swing and a miss.
And when I say new old pitch, he used to throw a changeup years ago. He kind of got away from it. This year he's brought it back in spring training, and it's been golden. And he's having fun with it.
So those pitches never go away. You put them in storage for a while?
Well, yeah.
I don't remember you putting anything in storage for a while.
No, I kept adding.
You just kept making up stuff as the years went on.
That's exactly right. You have to. You got to keep changing your look.
A rocket, and it's going to bounce in front of Perez. 1 run is going to score as Anderson knocks in a run. It's 8-5. And on the play, Bergamy goes to third.
Hey, Darwin. You guys basically have the next 2 off. You guys will be late the next day or 2.
So 8-5.
Don't look like it. Go out there one more inning. I'll get
This is Joey Curletta. And that pitch is outside for a ball.
Think about being a pitcher in professional baseball. As you age in the game, you don't find any stuff. You may find different movement, but you don't pick up any stuff along the way. That you lose.
Hit on the ground to third. Duffy to Hicks to Duvall. And that'll end the inning. Nice turn. Dodgers pick up a run. Giants are coming up. It's 8-5.
Well, check out Sportsnet Central today after the game right here on Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area. You'll check out the Warriors as they take on the Clippers. Giants Confidential, Jake Peavy. Talking with Jake. And Andre Ward is back in the ring. We'll have that story, all that and more on Sportsnet Central right after the game.
8-5 Giants here in the 7th. I know we have a new pitcher because he throws from down under.
Well, it's Ben Rowan. So last year at AAA, these were the numbers for Rowan. 31 strikeout. That's a good strikeout total for a guy with the summer weenie.
Imagine if guys that threw like that threw hard. That would be hard.
Yeah, that would not be good.
Because most this down under guys don't throw very hard. I don't. You might even say none of them do.
They don't wear out either. Rowan, originally from San Diego, got to the big leagues last year for the first time with the Rangers.
And he's facing Maxwell, and
look out!
That's a ball. One ball and no strikes.
Rowan, 6'3", 195-pounder.
Out of play. Hector Sanchez is on deck.
Rowan went to Virginia Tech. Did you ever try to throw like that? I mean, you threw down low anyways, a second baseman. You could come from down there.
Down the right field line with something on it, and it is foul. Well, you throw like that playing around.
But your old man was a softball pitcher.
Yeah, I could hit these guys because that's all I hit when I was a kid.
So like Dan Quisenberry, you had good numbers?
Bring him in. One and two. And that's a base hit down the left field line. Maxwell, for a big guy, runs pretty well, and he's at second base.
Nice at bat.
He had pretty good swings on the foul balls that he hit off of Rowan.
They set outside. That thing kind of hangs right out there. T-ball location. Right over the middle of the plate. And just a nice quick route to the ball. So he goes right field line in one swing, left field line the next swing. Tough guy to play.
Here's Hector Sanchez.
25 hits today. Giants with 16.
Up the middle. Off of Rowan. Everybody's going to be safe. And it'll be an infield hit for Hector Sanchez.
See, that takes a pitcher off. You know, you don't mind getting hit with a comeback or ground ball when you get it out with it. But when you get hit off the foot and it goes for a base hit, that does tick you off a little bit.
Here's Adrianza batting for the first time. Eight, 5 Giants.
I think this is a good matchup here. Adrian's a good low ball hitter. You're going to see low from Rowan.
How about a guy who throws like this, but throws a knuckleball?
Never seen one.
That would be fun. Swing and a miss by Adrianza.
Seriously, I don't think they make guys like that.
At some point, though, if you've been in AAA for 8 years and you can't get out of it, if you're a pitcher, why not try something?
Oh, I'm in.
And a base hit to left field. So coming in is Maxwell. Moving to second is Sanchez. Adrianza with a single and an RBI. And it's now 9-5. And here's Gary Brown batting for the first time. Juan Perez is on deck. Still nobody out. And Brown takes a strike.
Never happened to you, though, when you're trying to make it to the big leagues, where you hit late in the game in spring training and you had to hit off a summer weenie guy?
Well, anytime they throw somebody out there that throws different, yeah, if you're trying to make the team. Brown takes another one.
That happened to me in an alumni game at Cal Poly. I got an at bat and I had to hit off a summer weenie guy.
That's even worse. 3 pitches for Gary Brown.
I thought that was a bit high. Oh, let's take a look. Where was it? Generous call.
Here's Perez. Perez batting for the first time. And the pitch is wide. 1 ball and no strikes.
It was the first at bat I'd had in like 20 years.
Yeah.
And I hit it about 4 inches above my thumbs, and I could still feel it.
Yeah. Well, that was unfair. Perez skies one out into center field for Witherspoon. 2 outs. And Adam Duvall's going to get an at bat.
But you're right about the velocity. You just don't see much velocity. You're kind of really.
And maybe it's impossible to throw hard at that angle. You're mostly throwing all arm anyway like that.
But you do get movement. I think it's impossible to throw it straight from down there. And you're going to get sink.
Duvall watches that one fall in there for a strike, and it's 0-1. Giants 9, Dodgers 5. Giants have scored in every inning except the third and the fourth. Andrew Susac is on deck. And Duvall skies one into center field. Lots of room out there for Witherspoon, and that'll end the inning. Giants had a run. We'll go to the 8th. It's 9-5 San Francisco. Well, the Bay Bridge Series. How about Friday night at 7 p.m.? It'll be the Giants and the A's right here in Comcast Sports Net, Bay Area. The Thursday night game, you can see that one on CSN California, and that'll be with Glenn and with Ray. And then Saturday, right here on Comcast Sports Net Bay Area at 1 o'clock. So Bay Bridge Series is coming up, and on Sunday the Giants will get on a plane and head right back to here to take on the Arizona Diamondbacks on Monday.
George Cantos, the new pitcher now for the Giants. He's having a great camp. 10th time he's come in. 3-0, 3.00 ERA. No records. 7 strikeouts in 9 innings. Just 9 base runners allowed.
So here's Grandal, who takes a pitch that Cantos clearly thought was a strike, and it's 1 ball and no strikes.
Close. Cantos with 2 types of fastballs. It'll be low 90s. Hard slider, which is his bread and butter, and he's throwing a changeup now.
Grandal fouled down the left field line and out of play. And a couple of happy Giants fans. Good looking lid. No, I really, I want you to have it. Even though I caught it, I want you to have it. Okay. Hicks will give ground and make the play.
That's the Arizona ground ball that can eat you alive.
Oh, yeah. You don't know whether you should charge it or back up on it, and Hicks did the right thing. So Cantos gets the ground ball. And the first pitch goes to the backstop to Jacob Scavuzzo. Swing and a miss.
Good hard slider. And we always talk about Sergio Romo, whose bread and butter is his slider, and it's a no-dot slider. It doesn't give you a little red eye that you normally see on the spin of a slider. And George Cantos doesn't have a giveaway on his rotation on his slider either.
Adrianza from the hole, and once he slipped, he had no chance.
Now, I'd like to have seen that. Adrianza's got a good arm.
Here's Mateo.
And Scavuzzo can run. And this would have been a good contest to see if he could get a ball over there in time, but we'll never know.
So here's Luis Mateo. In tight from Cantos here in the 8th. With Kike Hernandez on deck. Down low. One out, one on. Down low again. 3 balls and no strikes.
The thing about George Cantos, you don't ever really worry about him throwing strikes. He's got such a compact throwing motion, very repeatable.
And that's a 4-pitch walk.
Well, Hector Sanchez is going to go ahead and calm him down, because right now George is thinking he's getting pinched with the strike zone.
So here's Hernandez. Hernandez is 0 for 3 today. Vogelsong struck him out looking in the 6th inning. Not close. 1 ball and no strikes. So a new baseball for George Cantos. Darwin Barney is on deck. 10,985 here at the park today. And that's a sellout. Hit well into left center field. Brown on the move, and this one is gone. And that makes this a much, much closer game. Think the ball's carrying?
Well, as you said earlier in the broadcast, it isn't a great day to hit. And the Dodgers sneak to within 1. Let's take a look at location of this pitch. Fastball middle in, and Hernandez does a nice job of staying inside this ball. And backspins it. It takes on the deep part of left center field. I don't know how much of that ball Gary Brown saw, or that was just messing with us.
Here's Barney, who takes the pitch, and Barney goes around. It's no balls and 1 strike. Well, we mentioned at the very beginning of the game, the Dodgers, their record, they're 14-7 with 6 ties. So you know it's going to be close at the end. This is fouled out of play. Adam Law is on deck. And Cantos right now having a hard time with his control, especially with the off-speed pitches.
Well, and I think he's having a hard time with his composure because I mentioned the strike zone has gotten a little small for him.
Foul.
And when you're on the bubble, and Cantos is, I mean, he's one of those guys that could go north. He's really fighting for a spot in that Giants pitching staff. They're going to take 7 relievers, 12 total pitchers. And it's come down to between Gene Machi and George Cantos. So when you start to have an inning go against you this late in the spring when there's so much on the line and you're getting pinched to the strike zone, it could mess with you.
And Perez took a bad route. And now you got the tying run at second base.
Well, that's the carry you're talking about right there. And you get a good look at it now. Juan Perez is a good outfielder. And right field, you got a lot of things to deal with aside from the carry. You're getting a lot of sun right now. He breaks in this ball, and now he tries to regroup. Too late. And with that, Dave Righetti, as soon as this ball hit the ground, Dave Righetti got up and started walking towards the mound, and he knows what's going on between the ears of George Cantos.
So here's Adam Law.
You really have to just take a couple deep breaths, focus on that pitch, because that's the only thing you really have control of.
So here's Law. And a strike, and it's 0-1.
But when you're on the bubble, whether you be a pitcher or a position player, I mean, there's so much riding on every appearance, every at-bat, every inning you pitch.
Cantos a double look to second, and this is hit on the ground, and a nice play by Adrianza. And we're not quite sure what Darwin Barney was doing, but that wasn't the right thing to do.
Well, you're right. I mean, that's just a mistake. Rule of thumb, if you're at second base, that ball's hit in front of you, you stop. Now, that was right between his legs, but as hard as that ball was hit, it's just an easy toss to third for Adrianza, and Barney out by a bunch. And you wouldn't expect to see a big leaguer make that mistake, especially if you're a middle infielder.
So here's Witherspoon. Now the tying run is at first base instead of being in scoring position. Law, the base runner, being held on by Duvall. And there's a swing and a miss. That's at 87.
Slider.
Back easily is Law. You didn't see Law take off, trying to get into scoring position.
We first saw George Cantos. He was kind of a two-pitch guy, and when he was having problems in an inning like this one, he became a one-pitch guy. He just threw nothing but sliders at you. And that's not the case anymore. He'll mix it up now. He's got more movements that he has command of. Good slider there. And that may be a cutter. But it was late, it was quick, and it was at a good location.
And a high fastball taken by Witherspoon. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Tried to elevate that fastball. That's something that Hector Sanchez really believes in, especially if you're establishing down around the knees with a breaking ball to finish a guy off above the letters with a fastball on top of the strike zone.
Runner goes. Got him, and that'll end the inning. Dodgers pick up 3. Giants are coming up 9-8. San Francisco.
Louisville Slugger has been making bats since 1884 and is the official bat of Major League Baseball. They are now releasing the Giants Dynasty.
Nine 9-8 as we head to the Giants half of the 8th inning. Jacob Rame is the new pitcher.
Take a look at the numbers last year for Jacob Rame in A-ball. Great Lakes in 51 games, 5-4 with a 2.0 ERA. But look at the strikeouts, 90 punch-outs in 67 1/3 against just 14 walks, and that will put you on the map.
It's Andrew Susac who's going to hit.
Rame, a 6th-round pick for the Dodgers back in 2013.
And Susac fouls it out of play. So it's a quick 0-2 to Andrew Susac. Alan Law stays in the game. He's at second. And the new catcher is Spencer Navin. Susac gone.
Well, that's 97 at the knees on the outside corner. And you can understand the strikeout total from Jacob Rame. Understand that in one pitch.
Here's Hicks. Hicks, who had a terrific spring training last year and made the team. And won a lot of games for the Giants the first 2 months of the season. And when he hit a home run off of Clayton Kershaw in spring training, I think we all said in unison, well, he makes the team.
Well, he backed it up.
He hit one off of Kershaw during the regular season. He played
defense very well when he was in the big leagues. He just hit a stretch where he couldn't buy a hit. And that's a base hit.
Hard to sneak a fastball by Hicks. Now we're watching Jacob Rain for 93-94. Remember the payoff pitch that he threw Andrew Susac. Remember, Susac got sent down to AAA ball earlier today, so he's got to get sent down in the same day. He has to look at a 97-mile-an-hour payoff pitch for a called strike 3 at the knees. That's a rough day.
That is a rough day. Here's Duffy. Duffy's had a good day. And chases that first pitch like it was a hard slider in the dirt.
Well, we've seen 2 pitches from Ray, but a high-velocity fastball on that slider, and he just showed Duffy that slider on the first pitch. So in a way, he kind of helped him out, showing him that pitch on a first strike instead of a third.
Roped into left center field. Duffy's got another hit, and Hicks is going to score. Duffy's got a double. That's his 3rd hit.
He can hit.
What did Bruce Bochy say?
Well, Bruce Bochy said he's the best hitter down here right now, and he's backing it up today with a 3-hit performance and a walk. And this one just a bullet through the defense. They shaded him over on the right side of center field. Well, he's making a pretty strong case for himself, I'll tell you.
Here's Maxwell. Maxwell came in as a pinch hitter in the 4th, and he's had 3 at-bats, including a double in his last at-bat. Here he takes inside for a ball with Hector Sanchez on deck.
A 19-hit day so far for the Giants. And they just haven't had a lot of days like this offensively this spring.
In the dirt. So Maxwell steps out, just his batting gloves.
You know, it's a tough day if you're a base coach, because you really don't know where to stand. They didn't chalk out any lines for the base coach today.
And there's a base hit into right center field for Maxwell. And here comes Duffy. He's going to score. And Maxwell with a nice at-bat.
He's had 2 nice at-bats today. A 2-hit day for Maxwell. He continues to make a nice case for himself. And that ball is right to the scout report. You get a 6'5" hitter like Maxwell, you're going to try and jam him. And that was not a mistake. That was right above the hands on the inside corner. And he takes it to right, stays inside it, and he gets himself an RBI.
So here's Sanchez.
Maxwell making a case for himself. Strongly. He's been hot.
Absolutely. Hector with a big swing and a foul down the left field line and out of play. Foul back right past Adrianza, who's close to being in the on-deck circle. (11-8) here in the 8th inning with 1 out. Cued off the end of the bat, and Sanchez is going to beat it out. Mateo couldn't get it out of his glove. That's the 2nd hit for Sanchez. Both have been infield hits.
So here's Adrianza.
Let's take a look at the skewed shot. Just the exchange just got a little weird, and for Sanchez, doesn't get many infield hits.
He's got 2 today.
Nice.
Here's Adrianza. He singled in a run in the 7th. And he takes a strike. Gary Brown is on deck. Good breaking ball, 0-2. So Duke is in, and Michigan State.
Gonzaga, Michigan State, Wisconsin, and Kentucky. There's your Final Four.
Down low. 1-2. I really thought Gonzaga had a good shot.
Not to be.
In tight, 2-2. Maxwell at second. Sanchez at first. Three and 2.
So if you're Adrianza and the guy you're battling with for a job has got 3 hits, talking about Matt Duffy, I mean, this takes on.
You swing at this pitch because you don't want to walk. On the ground. That's 1, and that's 2. Giants score 2. We'll go to the 9th. It's 11-8. 34 hits in this game. And on the mound now for the Giants is Gene Machi.
Take a look at the spring for Machi. 11th time that he's come in. 10 hits, 12 base runners in 11 innings. Most of the damage for Machi all came in one game. And for the most part, he's been pretty stellar through his month here in Arizona. Such is the life of a relief pitcher. It can be fantastic. You have one bad inning and it can pump your ERA up into 5, 6s. And everybody thinks, man, this guy's getting torched. which has not been the case.
Spring training numbers, phooey. So here's Anderson. Anderson singled off of Lopez in the 7th inning, his only at bat. And he takes low and away, 1 ball and no strikes.
With Machi, you're going to get a fastball that's low to mid-90s, more lows than mids, a little slider, and a forkball.
And a strike.
We talk about how Arizona could mess with pitches like sliders and sinkers. They can mess with a forkball, too.
He may have gotten a piece of it, held on by Hector Sanchez. It's 1-2.
Is it because you just don't have the humidity here in the desert like you have up north in San Francisco? And humidity makes the air heavier and it gives you more movement. A little resistance in the atmosphere.
Got him.
That was nasty. That'll send a young hitter back to the dugout shaking his head.
Here's Joey Curletta. Curletta hit into a double play to end the 7th off of Javier Lopez. And the first pitch from Machi is down low. 1 ball and no strikes. Duffy is the only Giants player that has played the entire game.
He will utter no complaints.
Nope. He's got 3 hits. And a strike.
Oh, nice 2-0 pitch right there. You know the guy's sitting on you, looking for a fastball, but when you can take away a guy's swing because you put good location on it, you've made a great pitch.
Three and 1. (11-8) Giants. Giants trying to pick up their 9th win here in the desert. And that's foul. So it's 3-2. Giants will have Tim Hudson tomorrow pitching in Mesa against the Cubs. Tim Lincecum will pitch on Tuesday against the Rockies. And Madison Bumgarner is going to pitch on Wednesday against the Indians.
His final tune-up before Monday's opener, April 6th.
This is going to be a tough play for somebody. And that somebody was a fan.
And they dropped it. That's right. Give it to your girl. There was a time limit on it, however.
Easy. It's going to go back on the field if you keep flipping it around.
Almost E10 right there.
3-2 pitch coming up. Here it is. He got him.
Like a fastball had a little cut to it. Perfect location.
Here's the catcher, Spencer Navin. The first pitch strike. Swing and a miss. And it's 0-2. And the game will continue as Navin is going to have a 2-out double. Just to make things interesting.
Nice 2-strike at bat for Spencer Navin. So everybody here at Scottsdale Stadium with the orange and the black on it, they're going to have a seat here. They're all up on their feet there, anticipating the end of the ball game. Not so fast.
Here's Scafuza. On the ground, Adrianza. And this one's not over yet as the ball gets by Duvall. And coming in to score this is the 9th run of the game. It'll be an error on Adrianza. And here's Mateo. Kind of a flat-footed throw, right?
Yeah, he tried to make something out of nothing here. That high hop that he got kind of took him back on his heel.
Yep.
Just sort of took his balance away.
And the pitch to Mateo is down low.
So 20 runs today, 35 hits, and that's the first error we've seen in the game by either team.
Two and 0. Kike Hernandez, who hit a 3-run home run in the 8th inning, is on deck. Tap to Hicks. And that's the ball game. So Giants win their 9th game of the spring, and Mike, they beat the Dodgers and a lot of hitting today.
Well, and this is exactly what Bruce Bochy wanted to see. He wanted to see the offense start to wake up as they got closer to getaway day, and that certainly was a situation today. Boy, did they put on an offensive clinic.
So, final score, Giants 11, Dodgers 9. For Mike Krukow, I'm Dwayne Kuiper. Thanks for joining us, and stay tuned for Sportsnet Central, which starts right